Today we are going to work about practices of principles and values, and we are going to discuss the ethical uses we are going to discuss ethical choices using the real and unreal conditions. So let's go to the next. So my questions, are values practiced nowadays? What do you think about it, Jennifer?
I think we continue practice some of them, but it's true that nowadays some people forget some of them.
All right, so you as a mother and as an adult, what do you think about the way we are acting? Let me tell you that some people say that young people is forgetting how to use values, but I have observed some adults, not only young adults, but also people from a certain age who don't have respect and who don't behave in a good manner. So I don't know. Well, that's my opinion. But what do you think about it?
Mm, I think that's true. Talking about respect, some young people don't have respect for adult people or for elder people, but some of them justifies with I don't know, with the fact that they don't need use them. For example, they as they now they use a lot of technology, so they don't practice a lot the respect. For example,
All right, thank you very much. Pedro, what do you think about this?
Well, in the last year I have been studying a master degree in education, and one teacher tell us that the values nowadays the young people have a lot of values, uh, but the problem or the situation is that these values have changed the order. No? Maybe when why as was young, the values were different, or they have different order. For example, the re, religious or religiosity, I don't know how to say, religiosidad, it
Regio-
was, how?
yeah, religiosity.
Religiosity, it was a very important and priority value. The people, even more years ago, uh, 100 or 200 years ago, the people can died for defend the religiosity. But this value nowadays, no, is the first. No?
Yeah.
Honesty, uh, uh, neither is the first. Nowadays, the beauty is a value that have one of the principal number in the priority, and no sé, the healthy, the, the money. There are values that the people, young people, or people nowadays have been put in the first places of the values. So I think that the values have changed the priority.
Yes, you're right. That makes sense to me. Yes, changes have been on the priority of the values. and the form that we express them. So now we have a lot of openness, but we don't have a lot of respect, teamwork, and even honesty. I remember that time ago my father used to say, if it is not yours, it belongs to anyone else, so you shouldn't touch it. But now some people used to say, if you are intelligent, to take it, because the fault was for the person who was distracted and lost it. And I don't think so. So we have to respect the belongings of anyone else, the ideas of any others, the rights for everybody. And so we could live in a good way, in a better way. All right. So now let's go to the next part. Here we go. Jennifer, could you help me reading, please?
Mm, yes. What values should a person practice? Difference between values and ethics. Values. They are the basic beliefs. Every individual has a set of values. Will never debate for their values. The values can be said to be the guiding principles in one's life. Ethics. Ethics is guidelines or rules, mainly based on moral values. Ethics has also been built on loyalty, honesty, and compassion.
All right, yes, thank you. So what do you think about it, Pedro?
Oh, I don't have the difference between values and ethics uh, clear.
Well,
Um,
eh,
let me read.
all right, it's okay.
Okay, I think that the values, like said in the screen, uh, are the basis or beliefs that each one um, have, and the values we have a performance uh, accord our values. No? For example, when I am father and I have values of behavior with my sons, no? Uh, and I want that they do things that I think that are good for they for our family. No? And ethics, they are based on the moral values. I don't have a very I don't understand the difference.
All right, thank you very much, Pedro. Jennifer, what do you think that are the differences between values and ethics?
I think the values, like the screen says, are basic beliefs, and ethics is like a set of them. Like the ethics is when people do that these values. Ethics is like a behavior, the behavior based on these values. You know?
Excellent. Yes, that's it. So values is the theory and ethics is the practice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, and as far as we can see, there are many people who have different ways of acting, different behaviors, and some of them are ethical to our point of view. Some others are not, but it is something so subjective because it is a personal appreciation. So maybe I think that I am doing things in a correct way, and maybe another person who observes me say that I am not a very ethical person. But we have different appreciations according to our way of living, according to our education, according to the situations that we live every day, and even according to the opinion of the person who surround us. So it is very complex. No, if we can say that it is right, that it is not correct, it is so complex. All right, so let's go to the next part. It is going to be so interesting. Luis, I mean Pedro, what would you do if you saw a person who is trying to burglar in a house?
Okay, well, if I was alone, maybe I call the police, uh, or if I were in my car, I uh, uh, make sound the klaxon for the for he will be afraid and maybe left. No? Uh, Maybe that's all. I will. Um, I don't try to take her or hit her because it's very dangerous. No,
Yeah, that's it.
so
You
my
would.
life is more valued than the things that he can stole.
Yeah, so much valuable than that. Yes, you're right. So, Jennifer, what would you do if you saw a person trying to burglar?
Mm, Differently, I call the police, and maybe I can make some noise in order to try to scare this person. Sometimes when they think that there are people are around, or they when they listen something strange, they are scary, and maybe they can go.
Yes, that's it. All right. So, let's go to another case, another situation. What would you do? Well, first of all, let me explain you. I think that whenever we are violent people and we attack our family in a way, for example, a man attacking his wife, his wife could also have a violent behavior with their kid, with their children, and as an obviousness, children learn the violent behavior and they attack their pets, their friends, their teachers, all of the people around them. So, what would you do if you saw a person having violence at home? Maybe not at home, maybe on the street, but against their family. So, what would you do, Jennifer?
Maybe I try to talk with them, but let me tell about a story with a similar situation. When I was in elementary school, I saw a couple of brothers. Then one of them is was screaming at the other one. So I tried to calm down and talk with them, and the little one say me, "He's my brother. The- He's my brother, and don't it's no problem that he screamed to me. So I say, oh, okay, that happened when I uh, when I when I say something that nobody asks me, you know.
Yeah, that was incredible. So just
Yeah.
because he's my brother, there's no problem for him to maltreat me.
Yes, I don't believe, but the little ones say that to me. So say, okay, maybe they get used to behavior in their home in this way. No?
Yes, of course, they learned how to behave because they live that situation at home.
Yeah,
Oh my, terrible.
yeah,
So, thank you very much, Jennifer. That was a very sad situation, a very sad experience. Okay, so Pedro, what do you think about it? What would you do? What would you do if you see a person attacking their family?
Well, it's very easy said, but I try to talk with them and say that the violence is not good for the family, for the auto-esteem of the
Self,
child,
yeah, for self-esteem.
for self-esteem of the child. Uh, it is very easy say, but is in a real case is very uh, difficult to do that because if I try to speak with the father, maybe no, maybe he is a violent person, and maybe he tries to hit me or um, she hit me. So
yeah,
if I don't know the family, I don't do anything. Only if the father will try to hit the child of his wife, maybe in this case I will take an action. But if I don't know the persons, uh, maybe I don't do anything. But if the family, I know the family, uh, I will try to talk with they before the situation. No, one time that the situation are cold and talk with the the father and the mother. Uh, Maybe they can go a therapy or I don't know. Try to help in another for a professional.
Yes, that's it. All right. Yes. You know what? It was very sensible. I think that it could be the most correct thing. All right. Thank you. Now, uh, let's see what happens about the respect that we show to our environment. I am referring to this situation in special. We humans have tried to have progress and we have created many nice things, many comfortable facilities, many different things that are supposed to give us benefits and comfort. But what about the respect of the nature that we should have? What about the respect to our environment? Eh, what would you do if you saw a person littering on the street or at the beach? So, Pedro, what would you do?
Well, I help him to try to clean the beach because he is alone and uh, I don't know what other thing I can do. This is a very common problem, and it's a problem for of education of the people, and it's very difficult to avoid that the people mm, the people take off the trash in the beach. Maybe I help him to clean.
All right, thank you very much. Jennifer, what about you?
Well, if I saw someone littering trash, maybe I can say they can keep with them or show where is mm, the near how do you say? I mean the specific place where they can put it. You know?
Maybe a trash can?
Exactly. Sorry.
That's it. Pretty good. Yes. And what do you think about the education that we are inheriting to our children about the respect of the environment? So,
I,
what?
I
Yes.
so I think we have to teach about not only no littering trash in street or other places. Also, we have teaching about recycling or reuse some of uh, some of the trash, and
Yes.
also then there are some alternatives for use, for example, for plastic or some materials.
Yes, that's it. And well, as you said, if we have a nice example, they could change their way of life and the way they are projecting their environment in the future. Hello. Yeah, Pedro, what do you think about it?
Yes, yes. The basically the people have to comply with the laws. In Mexico, there are laws that convey to the people to don't uh, uh, don't pollute. I don't know how to say contaminar,
Yes,
pollute,
pollute.
pollute.
Uh-huh.
And the government can put officials for supervise that the people don't take away the trash in the beach. But the other way can be put mm, contents, so the people can put the plastic, the papers, the metals with some pay for it. So in this way, the people don't take away the trash in the beach or in the street, because the plastic have value, and if the plastic or metals or paper can be sell, the people will don't throw it in the street. This
Yeah,
can be another way.
that's it. All right. Thank you very much, Pedro. Yolanda, welcome. How are you?
Hi, sorry. I am very late, but I'm here.
It's okay, don't worry. I understand that you have many things apart from taking the course, so don't worry, it's okay. All right,
Thank you very
welcome.
much. Yes, thank you very much.
All right. You know
Yes,
what, Yolanda? Today we are talking about values and the way we respect, the way we take care of many things. For example, in this case, we are talking about the environment,
yes,
how we respect it and how we take care of it. So, what would you do if you saw a person littering at the beach?
a person what?
Who is littering, who is throwing garbage,
Yes,
littering in the street
yes.
or in the beach.
If I am that person,
Eh,
I think that I need to get conscious about the danger that I cause when I do this kind of activities, like to trash, to throw the trash, to when I don't take care about the environment, the way that I danger the ecosystem, obviously I will do this kind of activities. But the most important is when give the information to the people and they react and they have a good reaction to change the way that they act because maybe they don't have conscious. Only these kind of people act in that way and they don't think about the consequences of their actions. So it's very important to give the information to conscious people and obviously to that people change the way that they uh, do this kind of things, very dangerous things.
yes, you're right. I totally agree with you. You know what? You made me remember a scene. 2 years ago, I went to Guerrero. I was
Yes,
very happy to be there because it is a wonderful place. It is so beautiful. And I went to Playa Ventura. It was a wonderful place. But very sadly, I realized that people don't care to be drinking their soda or to be drinking their beers, and they litter the beakers on the sand, on the beautiful sand
yes,
of the golden sand of the beach.
yes, yes,
If they threw any kind of plastic bags,
yes,
everything they have on hand,
yes,
and so they don't care. I was with my
yes,
family, and I was telling to my granddaughter and her cousins
yes,
uh, that we were going to save the planet. So we were picking most of the garbage that we saw.
yes,
And another person told me, "Hey, lady, what are you doing?" And
yes,
we are, one of the boys said,
yes,
"We're saving the planet." And so that person laughed and he said, come on, everybody does this,
yes,
everybody leaders. So, you
yes,
know what? You are not going to make the difference just because you pick up some things. And I said, all right, maybe I won't do it. But
yes,
I am doing the difference in the mind of these children because
yes,
children were running all around trying to look for some garbage to be
yes, of course, yes.
yeah, and
I
so, yeah.
Yes, I heard today in the radio that about millennials, and the commentaries said that millennials have more conscious about the to take care of the planet. And I think that if teachers in schools and in colleges and in high schools, teachers conscious students about the way to take care of the environment, I think that is a way to promote this kind of actions, maybe simple actions, but to to uh, to promote change of thinking about the care of the world, because I think that it is very important in the beaches to clean, to picking up the garbage, as you said. But in many other places, we have the same problems in the streets, in the schools. And I think that it's very nice when we go to clean beaches. But what happening into the schools, people don't respect the public areas, what happened in the streets, what happened in the cities, in what is the way to conscious people in order to clean the places where they live. So for me, it's very important to have a complete vision about to take care of the planet.
Okay, thank you very much. It was
Yes.
brilliant, but Pedro, what do you think about it?
Yes, well, I disagree I don't remember her name, but when she said that the millennials are take care about the environmental, I work in a university with millennials, and I have one son and one daughter, and they don't take a lot of care about the environmental. Uh, they have a cell phone and they consume energy in his rooms with the cell phones, with the laptop, with the TV, and with the light. They don't have the conscious that each light that they have off are um, generating uh,
Generating, yes.
generating pollutants in the environmental in the air, because in Mexico and in most of the countries, the 80% of the electrical energy are produced for um,
Fossil fuels?
fossil fuels, yes. And when he burns it, they produce uh, CO2, CO, NOx, SOx, and another pollutants. Yeah, and it's a very, very very big problem. The environment environmental heating, global heating,
Global warming.
global warming, because the combustion uh, gases.
Okay.
So the education is very important for the people, young people, and the people to try to uh, stop the warming global. Something that
Yes, that's it. All right. Yes, you're right. You said something so interesting and so sensible about it. You said that education is one of the core points for this situation. We have to make people to be conscious. And I guess that not only young people, but also elderly people, adults, because we all pollute, not only whenever we talk about electricity, but whenever we talk about the use of the car, whenever we talk about the use of microwave ovens. Well, in my case, I have already paid attention to the use that we housewives do to the microwave oven. Sometimes it is not necessary. We can heat it in a pot, maybe
Yes.
water for a coffee.
In a normal, yes, in a common way.
But we prefer to heat everything in the microwave oven because it's easier.
Yes.
So I
Faster.
consider, yes, I consider that that easiness life is making a big harm. It is so damaging our environment and our uses. Some people go to the gym by car, and I said, "Oh my, how is it possible? They are supposed to be doing exercise, and they go by car. They should wear a bike. They should use a bicycle."
Yes. The thing that is that everybody prefers comfort to live in a very easy way and not uh, to do more exercise or to don't consume some products that are that affect the environment. So we prefer to consume everything that helps you to feel better or to live in that that comfort. So I think that is very. I don't know what will be happen in order to change the way that we think because almost people or a lot of people prefer forget the consequences, the danger that we cause in the planet. So we don't think about if we consume the, the gas and if we consume we drive our car for 2 or 3 blocks and substitute walking on the street. So we are not really conscious about the real problem. Only we think about our comfort and we don't think about the consequences.
Yes, that's it. Well, you know what? Finally, to talk about this situation of values, I am going to talk to you a story, and you are going to give me your opinion. Okay? It is values scale, something like the way that we think about the reaction or the acting of some people. Well, the fact is this. There was an island in the middle of the ocean. In that island, there were living two women. They were the mother and her daughter. In the other island opposite to that, there were living two young men. One of them was the girl's boyfriend. The other one was his friend. One day, the girl was so anguished. She wanted to see her boyfriend, so she couldn't wait for him to come. So, in the middle of those islands, there were obviously the ocean, and in the ocean, it was full of very hungry sharks. So it was extremely, tremendously dangerous to try to pass by swimming. But there was a sailor who had a boat, obviously. This was the sailor, and who he could help people to pass from one island to another. So the sailor was the person who could help the girl. So the girl went to see the sailor and she said, "Hey, please, Mr. Sailor, help me to pass to the other island because I want to see my boyfriend. I love him, I miss him. So I would do whatever I could do to see him." And so the sailor said, "Oh, yes, of course, there's no problem about it. So pay me 1,000 pesos and I will help you pass." And so the girl said, "What? How much?" "No, no, 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 sir. You don't understand. I don't have any money. So I couldn't pay you anything." So the sailor said, "All right, everything in this life costs. So if you can't pay in a way, you can pay in another. So if you have sex with me, of course I will help you to pass. And so the girl said, oh my, uh, I don't know. So she went to talk to her mother. And she said, Mommy, you know what? It happened that the sailor told me that, etc., etc. And so the response of the mother was, baby, I don't know what to say. You should you should make a decision. And so she made her decision. She went with the sailor. They had sex, and later on, the sailor took her to see her boyfriend. Whenever the girl was in the other island, she said, because she was so honest, and she said, you know what? I love you so much, and well, I had to do some things for seeing you again, and I did. You know what? I went to the with the sailor, and I had sex with him because I love you. And so the boyfriend was so angry that he said, you know what? I don't love you anymore. I won't marry you because I can't stand that attitude of yours. And so forget about me. We have already broken our relationships. We are breaking up. And so the girl, she started crying. And suddenly the boyfriend's friend said, hey, don't worry. I will marry you. You know what? I have loved you for a long time. So I will marry you. So what I want you to tell me is your opinion about the acting of each of these personages, these characters. Who do you think it was the best person? Who do you think it was the worst person? And who do you think it was neutral, not good, not bad? So Jennifer, what do you think about it?
Well, I think the best person is the boyfriend friends because he doesn't matter what the girl did. So he's the best person. The worst person is the boyfriend because the girl did something in order to being with him, so he don't value this action. And the neutral person maybe is the mother because uh, she let the girl take the decision.
All right, thank you very much. So, Pedro, what do you think about this? What's your opinion?
Well, my opinion is that the best person is the daughter, because the only way to go to see her boyfriend is having sex with the sailor. Is was the only way to see his boyfriend, her boyfriend. So she did it for love, and maybe the love is the uh, priority value for her. So she loves her boyfriend, and the love is more of sex. Maybe she thinks that, no? the the bad person or the worst person, uh, in my opinion, my point of view, is the boyfriend, because he only can see, or he only see his girlfriend like a sexual object, um, and don't think about another value that she has. Um, Neutral person be the sailor, or the friend. The friend, mm, well, the friend is not a neutral person, because he is offering married to the girlfriend of the friend, and it is no good for the friend value, no? Maybe the mother is a neutral person, but because she don't do anything to help his daughter, I don't know.
All right. Well, Pedro, thank you very much. Yolanda, what do you think about this?
I think that we are talking about relativism because we have other kind of values. For example, the sailor, he's having a kind of advantage of the situation because he could act without any interest. So, but contrary, he demanded something that implies to have sex with the girl. I think that the girl has relative values because it doesn't matter, no, if I have sex with the man, I want to get my objective, that is to see my boyfriend. And I think that the neutral mother had a very bad attitude because as a mother, we always want to help our sons, our daughters to have good decisions. And in this case, the mother didn't do anything. So I think that was a bad mother. And in my opinion, obviously, the boyfriend and his friend had another attitude, and the boyfriend obviously had his values in the other extreme, no? And it's an extreme attitude too. And his friend had a possibility, no, and to have advantage of the situation. So obviously we can comment a lot of things, and depends on the attitude that any person has in this situation, because we can see in many ways that the way that they act, depending on their values, depending on the way that they want to get, you know. So it's very relative.
Yeah, that's it. And it is about values and anti-values.
Yes.
Whenever we talk about friendship, for example, and loyalty, we also talk about that the friend, okay, he was very loyal because he didn't say anything about his love for that girl. But also he was not brave enough for defending his love first and trying to be next to the girl before. He waited for her to be in a bad situation for taking advantage of this and saying, all right, I will marry you. There's not an option for me.
Yes.
And talking about the sailor, his character is corruption, and corruption exists everywhere. So we are the only ones who could accept it or could refuse working on it. He offered, so he didn't obligate the girl. He said, all right, here is my offer, take it or leave it. And whenever the girl accepted, he accomplished his word and he made his part of the deal.
Yes, but Margarita, you said something very important, that corruption, because in our society, everybody wants to get an advantage of the other. So these attitudes have increased the corruptions because everybody wants to get something. And I think that in many situations you can do some actions to give a benefit to the others and don't get any other interest. And I think that is very important that you do what you can do in order to benefit other people and not necessary to have any a payment about your actions, no? And I think that is a representation or is a way to an example that about the way that we act in many moments.
Yes, that's it. You have said something so interesting. Well, yes, we have to take advantage of everything and we don't think about the benefit of anyone else, just me. Uh,
Yes,
s- Somebody told me one day that the nowadays problem is that people love things and use people instead
yes,
of loving people and using things. So if we thought about the benefit of anybody else, we could be a better society because we could have, we could do things thinking about anybody else, not just me.
yes, of course.
All
Yes,
right. And well, talking about the mother, yes, she may have said something about helping her daughter because of course an opinion could be very valuable and she didn't say anything. She just said, well, you
yes,
know what? You have to make a decision.
a passive attitude, no?
Yeah, maybe she was thinking about all the values that she had previously talk to her daughter. Maybe she was respectful for her daughter's decisions, but also she may have had a more active acting about what she said. No, maybe, all right, do it, but
Yes,
think about the consequences. And if you want to accept the consequences, go ahead. If you are not going to be able to manage it, think for
yes,
twice.
of course.
Talking about the boyfriend. The boyfriend is society, how it judges, how it accepts us, how it refuses us, and we are not going to fight against it because there are many people in society and they all think that they have the right to judge the others. So sometimes we have to act, well, in my opinion, we have to act according our necessities, according our values, according about our ethics, and not
Yes,
about what the other people is going to think
yes,
or
yes.
how they will react.
Okay. And I think that as a objective person, as a conscious person, always you have to analyze the motive and why people act in that way or in another way. Always you have to analyze to reflect
Yeah,
about
that's it.
this. That's the
All
way.
right. Yes. Thank you. Jennifer, what do you think about it?
Well, exactly like you said, the boyfriend is like society. Our society always is judged, even when you maybe make a little mistake. All the society judge you, uh, even when they don't know exactly the situation or the complete situation. Uh, people didn't know, don't know why you acting like in this way or the other way. No, they only see the bad results and judge. No? I think we have to be more. We practice the empathy, with others.
Yes, that's it. You're right. Pedro, what do you think about it?
Well, about the boyfriend,
Oh, yes, or maybe about the whole situation.
or the whole situation. Uh, well, it's very easy to judge the people in the case, but it's difficult if one of us having this situation. Uh, I think that the life can uh, present. this kind of situations in the work, in the life, in, in the family, and in that moment, we think that the only way that you can do is the way that imply to do bad things or things that we think that there are not the best way to solve the problem. But when we are in these cases, uh, mm, take decisions or not the better decisions uh, because the environmental, the situations, uh, I don't know, the life is very complex, and even in situations in the life, in the common life, we make decisions that not are the best decisions, but in that moment, we think that these are the best decisions. And with the pass of the time, we know that we make a mistake. Yes.
That's it. Yes, you're right. Well, I agree with you, and I really thank you for your participation, for your attendance, and for your attention. I guess that this has been a very interesting session. We have not only practiced English, but also we have already talked about some interesting topics. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your attention and have next week.
Okay, thank you for you.
All right. Have a very good night. Good
Thank
night.
you. You
Thank
too. Good night.
Good night. See you later.
you.